Camden, New Jersey, more than a century ago. Today, Whitman's old city is struggling mightily with grinding poverty and violent crime. But it's also home to one of the finest firehouses in the nation, Liberty Station. Tonight here on Firehouse, we follow a young recruit who chose to ignore the dangers of those mean streets to join a company of courageous men. But this recruit will never be just one of the guys, because this recruit is a woman, one of the first. She figures it's going to be tough, but in Camden, tough has a whole new meaning.
Camden City is directly across from Philadelphia.
Camden is the second poorest city in America.
In the high crime category, Camden, New Jersey.
Urban decay on a frightening scale.
60s, early 70s, the riots came. Here it is 30 years later, and we're trying to bounce back.
Camden, within 10 square miles, has more than 5,000 abandoned buildings currently. Mischief Night did in 1991, 133 fires in 8 hours.
Last night, Camden exploded in flames, most of them arson.
The department now is considerably more diverse than it was 12 years ago, about 2/3 minority.
Liberty Station, we house a pumper and a rescue truck. Our job in the rescue company is probably one of the most dangerous because we have to get as close to the fire as possible to check to see if there's any victims.
You got anybody? No, nothing here.
And we don't put the fire out. That's the job that's up to the engine company.
Our mindset is get the hose line off, get water on the fire, put the fire out. And our job goes from complete boredom to 200% on the job.
Tower Engine 8, Tower Ladder 1, Rescue 1 to 3rd Street and Spruce Street at garage.
Thick black smoke coming out of the whole building. We thought we had a major fire.
It was such a rush to get into the building without a hose line because we knew we were dealing with seconds. The building could have took off. There could have been an explosion.
Yo, this is open over here, it looks like.
I want to make it in and do a rapid search. I want to get in and get out.
Cap, I got a way in right here.
Report from people crossing the street there. Some little boy in the country over in there.
Cap, I got look, guys. Possibly one to go inside, little boy in there. We're going to do a search.
Rescue 1 of Battalion 1. When anytime you hear of any type of children, I have a boy, I have a girl, your adrenaline gets flowing. You're thinking, you know, hey, this could be my kid in there.
The rescue's going in there to do the primary search. The engine company's going to go and extinguish. The ladder company's going to try to ventilate. We got fenced up all on this side.
We get in and we work from the area that is, you know, in the most danger.
Okay. Go through that door over there with Gary.
We had to get in there, we had to make the save.
You guys have water yet? Charge the line, will you? You got guys in there now, no water, Jay.
There's no hose lines in place, and they're not extinguishing the fire yet, so the fire realistically can grow out of control. It's putting us in jeopardy.
Come up. What?
Children will go to a place and hide from the fire. They'll go under a pile of rags. You can't see anything. You have to work by feel. We looked in closets. There's offices in there.
Got a wall right here.
I'm starting to scream now. Get the hose line off, protect the rescue company going in there so they can go find this person and get them out.
We're trying to open up the roll-up doors. We want to remove all that smoke. Faster the smoke and the superheated gases leave the building, better chances that the victims inside have a survival.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
We checked under every, all the little obstacles to see if there was any child in there, and it turned out to be negative. So it worked out in our favor that time.
Somebody said they found the boy. He ran out of the building and he was 2 doors down. That's a great relief.
Hold on.
After we did a search, we had a report of a pit being inside where they change oil and whatnot.
Yo, come here. There's a pit over here.
The door opens and here is Brian Beach in this pit.
Did you fall in there? Yeah, I'm all right.
Firefighters, when they're working inside a burning building, can't see. He was walking along and the ground just not be there anymore. It's got to be the worst feeling in the world.
All right. You okay? Yeah, go ahead and take a breather.
Yeah, that scared the out of me.
Protection of the men is my ultimate responsibility. I want them to go home in the morning, just like I want to go home in the morning and see my family, my men. I want them to go home.
Let's go. Andy, quit talking. Let's go. Come on, buddy.
Rumors started circulating. It was going to change the way of life in Liberty Street Station. You had to grin and bear it because you knew it was going to happen. It's happening all over the country. And, Camden was the next place that it happened to.
It's been a boys' club. It's been a boys' club, and now we're having them in here.
We were 125 years here without a female. And then they told us we're getting 2 females. And we all played cards to see who was getting them, and nobody wanted them.
My name is Renee Muhammad, and I want to be a Camden firefighter.
Have the 150-foot section, right?
Okay. The guys treat us like we're their sisters, but they're looking at you. Not that they're criticizing you, but they never had a woman in their class either, so they're looking at you because they don't know what to expect. That's a lot of pressure. So after, you're going to do another evolution and then
evolution, and then you guys, your squad's next up.
Okay. When I came in, I really didn't know what it took to be a firefighter. I really didn't. I thought that I was in pretty good shape. I came in here thinking, oh, that small hose, when it's charged with water, it's heavy. I'm not 100% comfortable because I'm still learning. But the more when I get to my station, my captain and my chief train me, I'll get comfort. I'll find my comfort zone. I did okay?
Yes, you did.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I grew up in Norfolk, Virginia. I'm one of 9 children.
5 sons and 4 daughters. Renee is the baby. We did not have what a lot of people have. We were poor.
I was born August 31st, 1966. My mother did not make it to the hospital. She started going into labor, and I guess she wanted to wait.
But Renee could not wait, and she was born on the way out of the door.
So my dad was so nervous, he didn't know what to do. And my dad said, I'm gonna have to go ahead and deliver it. So that's how I came in the world. Because my dad delivered me, I know we had a strong bond.
Renee has a lot, I would say a lot of her father in her. He was a fireman in the 85th Airborne Division. He loved driving that fire truck. When he came out of the service, he tried to get a job as a fireman. He applied so many times here in Virginia. At that time in the 50s, if you were a person of color or a black person, you could not be a fireman, not in Virginia. We didn't have time for bitterness. We just had time to go on. We wanted our children to have something in this life, to enjoy this life, to have a better life than we had.
My dad instilled those dreams in me about becoming a firefighter. Now that I look back on it, you know, I know that that is true because the desire that I had to become one became stronger and stronger and stronger, and I wasn't going to give up.
Renee's father passed away in April from cancer and has been looking down on her right now. I think he would be proud of his daughter. She fulfilled her father's dream of being a fireman. It seems like one of the boys would have took it up, but Renee did that. I think her father would have looked at her and said, "Go get him, girl."
We're going to treat you just like a man. At least I will.
First day, you're nervous. You don't know what to expect.
Renee, in leaving the fire academy, she's going to really find out what it's going to be like to be a firefighter in the city of Camden.
We now continue with Firehouse, a Dateline special.
Her father dreamed of becoming a firefighter, but the color of his skin kept him out. Now his daughter is living his dream, and nothing, it seems, is going to stop her.
Good afternoon, take your seats. I'm a Camden firefighter, just like you're going to be on Friday night. You could have walked out the door on September 12th and said, "This is not for me." But I was told you were all here on September 12th, ready to go more than ever. You'll see a lot of bigger fire departments in America and in the country, and they'll all say they're the best. But when you walk out the door on Friday, you're going to be Camden City firefighters, the best in the country.
I know it is. The camera. They see a big smile. Say, "Chief."
When I put on my uniform today, my 13-year-old daughter said she was so proud of me.
Tilt a little this way.
My son just said, "Are you really going to do it, Mom?" I said, "Yes, Jabril, that's it. I'm done. I'm ready to go out and work in my station." He was like, "You're going to really work there with a lot of men, and you're going to be able to do that, and you got to sleep there?" He's like, "I don't know if I like that."
Everybody's saying that this is the end. This is not the end. This is the beginning.
Let everybody know you're Camden fireman now. That's what the deal is.
Over by one.
I'm ready. I'm ready. My dad would have been proud. The last week of the course, I really thought about him because you never got to know that I got in. So this is extra special for me because I know that he's looking down on me, and I just wanted him to see, you know, that I made it. You know, Dad, you were right, I made it. I kept saying that I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it. It's like the little engine that could. I was just determined that I was going to do it. When they come and ask me, "Why do you want to do this? What is it like? Why would you risk your life?" I tell them, why not? Why can't I? Do you care if your house is on fire and I come to your house and I'm a woman? Don't you want me to put it out? If you get in a car accident, don't you want me to help you? Yeah. Fire does not discriminate. It's going to come the way that it's going to come. And I'm going to be there to try and put it out.
Okay?
What's you crying for? What's you crying for, Mom?
Just thinking about Pop-Pop. He's not here.
I'm so happy for you. So happy for you. It shows in America you can be anything you want to be. You can be a wife, a mother, and a firefighter. You can have it all. And baby, in America you got it all. I'm proud of you.
The war zone. At times, they actually booby-trapped these places. I really don't think Renee had an idea of what she was getting involved in.
Oh, my goodness. Ooh.
We went down into the basement and we heard moaning down there. It shudders you to think that, you know, here's a newborn baby that's in this house.
Firehouse, a Dateline special, continues. Here again, Brian Williams.
The feel-good days of training and graduation and applause are over. Now Renee Muhammad, who wants to break the gender barrier in the Camden Fire Department, is about to get a taste of life as a rookie.
We'd like to introduce you to firefighter Renee Muhammad, new fire personnel in the Camden Fire Department. The first female in the history of the fire department.
The first day, you're nervous. You don't know what to expect.
We're going to treat you just like a man. At least I will.
Being the first female to come in a male-dominant field, it's different.
Sometimes I'll call you Renee. Sometimes I'm going to call you Muhammad.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm going to call you other things. Yeah, you will. Bear with me. There's women in the fire service all over the country. It's the first for Camden. Did I think I'd get the first one? No, I was pushing not to get the first one. But they liked me so much, they gave me the first one.
Captain JJ is a very tough character. I don't think I thought I would be assigned to him. He was probably the last person that I thought I would be assigned to.
Our new recruit today was very nervous. You can see it in her face.
Just cleaning out my new home, where my gear is going to go.
Well, you know, all males usually sit around, talk about the women, and riding down the trucks maybe. We'll be hanging out the windows looking and say, wow, look at her. And I don't think we're going to be able to do that much anymore. We'll see what happens. It's going to be different.
How many guys washed out that locker before they moved in?
How many guys?
Yeah.
Slim to none.
Yeah.
Don't say I'm not the only one. This is not just a woman's thing. I'm still nervous until I guess I get the first run. I was waiting to hear the 3 tones. 3 tones meant that there was a possibility there was a fire. I feel a little more comfortable than I did. I didn't sleep at all last night. I don't. That's not us. Call wasn't for my company. Let me take a deep breath. Oh, see, this is all a probie's job right here. First day, when you come into the department, they call you a probationary firefighter. But the name that the guys call us is a probie. I have to get used to this cooking 2 times a day. You're like at the bottom of the pole. You have to do everything, you know. They want you to cook, they want you to get the ice, just wash the dishes. I kept wondering, when were they going to call Tower Engine 8? When I heard Engine 8, somehow the dishes broke. Like a kaboom. Everybody heard it.
Just leave it there, it's all right.
We ran out to the apparatus, but there was a recall. The call has been canceled. They're recalling it back. So I couldn't get my first fire. I had to wait.
When Renee first got here, I know it opened her eyes. This is one of the worst streets in the city. This is the real world.
Yeah.
And any one of these houses that are boarded up are pretty much all the same. We go in these vacants to show the new people what you have to actually look for before they get on fire. You got deterioration in them, you got everything. Abandoned property in the city of Camden is normally boarded up and And then the vagrants come in and they take the boards off and they live in them. If this was on fire, we're not going in here. If there was somebody in here that we had to go in and try to rescue, we'd run in here and try to make a rescue. We have no floor back here at all. The floor here is half missing.
Oh my goodness. Ooh, I was not expecting all this.
No. Yeah. They just throw them all over.
Poop is everywhere.
Yeah. See, this is kind of wax. They're lighting these, and when they burn down, they just burn down. That's it. They don't care. This place burns down, they go to another one. They don't care. And Renee, this is one of 1,000. You have to beware of holes in the floor, things like that, because at times they actually booby trap these places. We'd be walking in here, they'd have a rug in the floor, but there wouldn't be no floor underneath. When I first got hired in 1982 and came up here, I thought this was a total war zone, and I still think it is, only I'm getting used to doing the job here. After we went through the abandoned house, and I decided that we simulate a real fire, it was a training session. Okay, girlfriend, let's go. Remember to straddle the steps. It's going to be very difficult for her, I think. Because she's never been involved in smoking fire. The real thing is the 3 o'clock in the morning job where we got people screaming. There's people in there that were my adrenaline, her adrenaline, we're all pumped up. That's when we make or break these people. And sometimes we break them and they come back. Other times they don't want to come back. Give us your real honest opinion on what you think about what you just saw.
I didn't think I would see that. I don't know what I thought. I guess down at the academy it was so neat and clean. All we had to worry about was the fire and the smoke. That's 10 times more than that. Like he said, that is the real world. So, I didn't picture that.
Engine 11, tower engine 9, engine 7.
Rescue 1, Carolina 1, Battalion 1. Calling ordinary construction occupied, heavy, second floor.
When we turned the corner, we had 4 two-story houses that were on fire. We went down into the basement, and we heard moaning down there. The first thing we heard was it sounded like a little baby was crying.
The extensive overhaul, the fires probably will hold.
It shudders you to think that, here's a newborn baby that's in this house. We start looking around, we start doing a search, and we come across a cat. Cat's laying on its side, unconscious, breathing real heavy, moaning and crying, but it sounds just like a baby. We took it outside, they tried to administer first aid to it. Nothing could revive the cat. We come back down, we're doing another search, and we keep hearing a moaning, but this one was a real faint one. We come across a little puppy dog about 1 pound in size, having trouble breathing, soot around its mouth. So we take the baby puppy and put him in our arms, and we take him upstairs and give him the first aid so they can, put oxygen on him. We keep going back down. We come across another puppy, and finally, after the 3rd puppy, we kept taking upstairs. We went out and we asked the resident, how many dogs do you have? And there ended up being 4 down there. Every puppy was saved. They were all, adopted the following week.
I was very surprised at how close together the beds were to each other. I'm not used to sleeping with them.
Blinding smoke and a lot of heat. And if we stay in here any longer, if it gets worse, we're going to have to bail.
We now return to Firehouse. Here again, Brian Williams.
Proby Renee Muhammad knows you don't have to be big to be a firefighter, but you do have to be strong and agile and tireless. No problem there.
I have a husband and 3 children.
Oh, so you're going first.
Being a woman, a mother, and a firefighter is very different. I mean, it's difficult.
Our lives are like on the go. Come home from work, one of the kids either have practice or a game, just constantly on the go.
Sometimes I feel like it's getting a little easier. What's wrong with you?
I'm cold. I'm cold.
But it's hard.
Today's training sessions were ventilation.
We were going to go up and we were going to cut a hole in the roof.
The reason to cut a hole in the roof is to release the products of combustion and try and channel the fire to where you want it to go, not where the fire wants to go.
I made the first cut. I guess the weight just gave out on me. My first reaction was to open up my arms and just stay still. Don't move because you're going to go down. That's when firefighters die.
You always want to control your fear, and I'll be the first to admit, yeah, I've been scared many, many times. One particular day, I got hurt. We responded to a house fire, and I had put my head down, and some tar and embers had gone down the back of my neck. This was very hot. The pain was pretty intense, and I had fallen to my knees, and I started rolling around on my back. And then one of the fellows opened up a hose line down my back and pulled me down a little bit. I received second-degree burns on the back of my neck.
Anytime that there's a firefighter injury, it's always concerned with firemen because that's our brother, and we're there to protect them. And if one guy gets hurt and we feel that, you know, we let him down, we didn't protect them.
Them to care for me like that is more than any medal or ribbon you could ever possibly get. You know, to have the respect and the admiration and love for one another. And that's, to me, what it's all about.
Attention engine 10, engine 7, tower engine 8, tire ladder 2, rescue 1 of battalion.
Fairview, what house fire? Get those windows open. You got one on this jet. Gotta be fire in the basement, Brian.
Basement fires and cellar fires are some of the hardest fires to fight.
If there was someone in there breaking the window, we'll give them another good breath to live. All the heat and smoke will come out of the windows.
I don't know, we was watching TV, then we saw the smoking coming from the basement. When I went to see what happened, the basement was on fire.
Put a line in there, Cappy.
Come on up, we got a hydrant.
We can't find a door to the basement. It's just blinding smoke.
Crews were trying to find the best they could by filling walls and floors where they can find the base of steps.
As we were crawling through the living room, the heat started getting more intense, and a lot of heat and a lot of things are running through your mind. Like, you know, where is this door? And if we stay in here any longer, if it gets worse, we're going to have to bail.
You name it, you're bumping into furniture, other firefighters, hose lines. And you got to ask, who's this? You got to ask questions. Who's this? This is my partner. Is this my captain? Take out the whole window, that's for, if we do find a victim, that's the way we're taking them out.
I got a camera.
We have a Bullard infrared imaging camera. This senses heat. I just turned and panned it against the front wall of the house where the fire was just underneath to see if the fire was traveling up through the studs.
We radioed out to the chief and to let him know that we did locate the basement door. We're making our descent right now. The brothers with the hose line came right in and knocked the fire down.
Let's face each other, guys.
Try to get you a place to stay tonight, or if you want to stay with relatives, and we're here to help.
To come out and see the family, yeah, their possessions are gone. You're there to do a job and preserve as much as their home for them as you can.
Engine 10, 1600 drive.
I had responded to 0. I had no calls. I didn't really want someone's house to burn, but I also, you know, had just come into the fire department. I wanted, you know, to go on my first job. The part that I don't want to do, making the beds. I make enough beds at home. I was very surprised at how close together the beds were to each other. You know, it wasn't a whole lot of room. Nobody's sleeping here, someone's sleeping there. Oh, someone's right here. I'm hoping that they don't snore. Because if they snore, I know I won't get any sleep. The thing is, I'm not used to sleeping with them, you know? So it's going to be different. After my first night in the dorm, I decided I just wasn't going to sleep in there again. Even if I have to sleep on the floor, I was not going back into that room.
Next. Firehouse, tonight's Dateline special, continues.
The first few days, her heart jumped every time an alarm went off. Now the probie, Renee Mohammed, wants to prove she can put out a fire. But she also wants a little sleep, and she'll need her rest in a firehouse this busy.
Engine 10, Rescue 1, Battalion 1, steady motor vehicle out. Engine 9 from Camden County.
She said she was just driving along, ready to make a turn. Part of the job is trying to keep the patient calm.
I'll get it. Let me just walk up to the ambulance.
No, wait.
She seems to be pretty hysterical from the airbag.
I'm not doing it again. Can y'all please clear up?
She was hitting the face with the airbag. She got abrasion on the chin.
I don't believe it. This is crazy.
She seems to be pretty shaken up from it, you know. I mean, you don't see too many people that hysterical. That's the most hysterical woman I've ever seen.
This used to be my bed, but I don't sleep there anymore. I'll let the guys have it. Let this be like a bonding thing for the guys. They sleep and they snore. They pass gas and they sleep and they snore and they pass gas and they pass gas and they pass gas and they snore. Back and forth. It's a vicious cycle in here. No, I can't come in here anymore. I've tried. They'll laugh. I tried. This just doesn't work for me. I sleep at the watch. The watch is at the front of the building. It's for someone may come in and report a fire from off the street. I have my own television and my own bed, and I like that.
Hey, Renee, I just want to let you know, since you're new in the company, Monday's my birthday.
I'm 54 years old right now. I got married for the first time when I was 40.
to a young bride at 22.
You chipped in to get a battery-controlled wheelchair.
I need a new pacemaker, battery, and more teeth. When I first got hired, I knocked on the window and they thought I was a vagrant. They sent me down the street. I said, no, I'm actually supposed to be working here. I'm one of the new people.
He's not going to have enough air to blow all these candles out. Fireman burned to death lighting up the birthday cake. Yo, Jay, come here!
Surprise!
Happy birthday to you!
My wife's a Sunday school teacher. She thinks I should be a Sunday school teacher. I said, I do my helping when people really need it.
Happy birthday, Captain!
I love helping people. And if I can help them to put their house fires out or when they're in time of need, that makes my day.
Man, go get the dry chem. Come on.
About 2 in the morning, and the tones went off.
Attention Tower Engine 8.
I got my first call. To a lot of people, this may not have seemed like anything, but to me, this was everything. When we got there and I saw the fire in the car, I was like, wow, this is it. I was like, we're going in, right? Out to myself, we're going in. I'm really proud of myself. Because I just got in here and I didn't even think about it. Being new, coming in, I didn't even think about what I was doing. I just did it. And when it was all over, I was like, okay, I got this. I feel a little more confident. I came back and I said, you know, I had my first job. And they said, well, you had a car fire. You haven't had your first job.
Car fire is a car fire. It's just, you go there, it's like putting a candle out on the street. You go there and put it out, you come home.
And they say, you'll get your first job when it's a dwelling, when it's a house. So once again, I was waiting on that house fire. Renee, he said, I see smoke, heavy smoke, get ready.
We get there and she's pulling off hose and not really knowing what to do. Calm down, Renee, just calm down.
Lo and behold, this was my first house fire.
And now the conclusion to Firehouse. Here again, Brian Williams.
As one of the first female firefighters in the Camden Fire Department, Renee Muhammad wants to get along with her brothers, but she'll do it on her own terms. Will this make or break her? The story continues.
Fire department's like a marriage. You got, except instead of having 2 personalities and a husband and wife, you got however many are there.
One of the guys wanted me, you know, to cook. And I told him that I didn't feel well. Who's gonna cook in the kitchen? Now that a woman's here, is the woman gonna cook or is the man gonna cook? That's gonna be anybody but you?
I paid my dues.
I know, but I thought
Did you pay your dues?
But I'm sick.
I paid my dues.
I am sick. I am sick. And I did not want to expose, you know, my germs to everyone in the kitchen.
Pay my dues.
The new probie now started taking offense to the guy with 3 or 4 years in, and even me, that with 20 years in, and I kind of get like, wow, you're really holding your own, ain't you, girl?
Here, we got a mask for you to put on there.
It's always the way
they did in the old days.
Most of the probies would just like, you know, put their tail between their legs and run away, but she kind of held her own, and I like that.
I felt like, should I be saying this because I am new?
This is an unsafe work environment, and I feel threatened.
Hostile work environment.
Very hostile here. I just came back, man. You could have jumped on my case.
The firefighter that I was having a debate with, they had to respond to a call because he was on rescue.
Recall the chief and put the intercom and reduce speed. Everybody's out of the vehicle.
Somebody went through a stop sign, broadside at the Explorer, and flipped it up on its side. Basically, if no one's injured, go home and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we'll get lunch.
You did it?
Rick and Renee had to do lunch again because they weren't out on a run.
in the beginning when we was driving here?
We get there and she's pulling off hose and not really knowing what to do. Calm down, Renee, just calm down.
But once I got to the door, all that went out the window. And I just was listening to my captain and just doing what I had to do.
She was right behind me with the hose line, and we both came up here as a team and assisted the first two engines and put the fire out. When the fire came rolling out of us, she didn't back up. She stayed there right with me.
Now I think I can go to my captain and ask him how was it, what did he think, how did I do.
Remember you asked me the other day about the girl in the fire grounds, a brand new girl in the Camden City Fire Department? Well, this was a real eye-opener.
I officially had my first job, but now I think I can go back and just, you know, lay back a little bit and just think about the whole event.
She done real good, and I like her. I think I'll keep her with me a while.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
Today is my 90-day meal. A 90-day meal means that I've been on the job for 3 months. So every probationary firefighter has to cook a meal.
They spent from 12 o'clock till 7 o'clock at night cooking this dinner.
Fried chicken, beef ribs, salmon cake, collard greens. Okay, that's good. I wanted to be perfect. I wanted everybody to be happy and satisfied. I wanted to go the extra mile. Baked macaroni and cheese, sweet potatoes, and this is the peach cobbler. Oh yeah, very good.
She was covered from head to toe with food and everything.
Had enough juice?
The beef ribs right here.
Okay, I'm in. Every 90 days you got to do this.
You got a 90, a 180, a 270, and a 360, and then you're in.
At the end of the meal, my captain put his arms around me and he said, you know, I've done a great job.
Oh, the meal was excellent. Yeah? And she's as good as a cook as she is a fireman. I'll call her a fireman. Yeah. Now she's part of us. You got your 90-day meal in, you've done your job, we accepted you in, you're helping us put our fires out, you're in now.
I'm more than anxious and more than ready to go and fight or do whatever it is to make it better for the other ones to come. By me being accepted into the fire department, I'm definitely paving the way for other women to come to the fire department younger, stronger, and better, you know, than I am.
They weren't sure about this new recruit, Renee Mohammed, but today even some of the most skeptical firefighters tell us that this determined young woman is a welcome addition to their ranks. That is it for this edition of Firehouse. Next week, Miami.
And this weekend, Tom Brokaw reports on the corporate scandals rocking the country, from Wall Street to Main Street, and what it means to your financial future in Take the Money and Run, Sunday at 7, 6 Central. That's it for this edition of Dateline. We'll see you again for Dateline Sunday at 8. I'm Stone Phillips, and for all of us at NBC News,